Thank you very much. Urge your favorable statement.
Guys, it's happening right now. The vote is happening on constitutional carry. I'm going to bounce over to that so you guys can watch it.
Opponents of bills have 30 minutes total. Proponents of bills have 30 minutes total. Chair recognizes Representative McLaurin to speak to the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. All I did today for this bill for you is I wrote a haiku that I would like to share.
This guy's a nut job, by the way.
Same bill many times. Georgia gun owners watching. Y'all go off, I guess.
Yes, we are.
Mr. Speaker, I yield the will.
Folks, thanks for tuning in here. You are watching right now live the House vote on constitutional carry. It's happening right now. Share this video all over the place.
So I appreciate the comments of Representative McLaurin to bring a little bit of levity to this issue because this is ridiculous. It is not difficult to get a gun in the state of Georgia. What issue or problem does this bill solve? We saw last year on March 16th, a shooter get a gun and within a span of a few hours, go on a mass shooting rampage. We know from multiple studies that there is a direct correlation between weaker gun laws and higher rates of gun deaths, including suicides, homicides.
Aaron, you're in here.
Can you hear my audio okay?
Yeah, I can. Of course, we got this other idiot. We're just gonna put him off to the side. I see we got another one. Folks, what you're watching right now is the live floor debate on Senate Bill 319. We got another one here. Let me see if I can rearrange this just a little bit. There we go. We're joined by GGO founder Patrick Parsons. Everybody, you can see in my screen right here, we are watching live floor debate on constitutional carry in the Georgia House. And big day right now, everybody.
We've been waiting for this for a very long time. Very long time, folks. Alex Dorr with the GGO team is in the Capitol right now. They are not letting people in the gallery right now because of COVID protocols that are still going on in the freaking Georgia House.
Good gosh.
But you're going to have a live report from Alex here momentarily as well. Major day in the Georgia House.
Yeah, this is a big day, guys. Looking forward to getting all the intel from Alex down at the Capitol. I know he's been down there all morning and talking with folks. Look, this is it. We've got a fight here in the House, and then we're going to have another little fight. We got to get this to the governor's desk and get this thing done. We just saw radical left-wing socialist Democrat Josh McLaurin attack Georgia gun owners in a haiku poem on the floor of the House, believe it or not. And that was exciting. But guys, pound it. Let us know where you are watching from. Alex will be with us in just a minute from the Capitol in Atlanta. I'm from here in Kennesaw, Georgia. The guys are fighting for constitutional carry all over the country. Guys, let us know where you're watching from. There's the great Danny Cindric in Hiram, Georgia. Fitzgerald, Georgia, the great Danita Ewing in Covington, Georgia. There's Michelle in Waycross. What is this wacko saying, Aaron and Chris?
I'm not even listening to her. I just know that she's not on our side, so I figured it can't be that good. But let's have a listen here.
Total nutbag.
And I'm standing up here today speaking again on this issue because I will not back down. Instead, I will continue to use my voice to try to convince you, my colleagues, to protect our families and law enforcement. Some of you in this room have admitted you don't want permitless carry in Georgia. I've received many emails from pro-Second Amendment and people and law enforcement officers that are opposed to this bill.
Send them to us.
Agree that those carrying concealed guns in public should go through a background check in order to do so. Simply put, a strong permitting system is essential part of responsible gun ownership. With rights comes responsibility. Responsibility.
And that, kids, is why you should never do drugs because
exactly.
at some point your brain will end up totally scrambled, like scrambled eggs in the morning, and you will look like that person standing there making a total fool out of herself, advocating for freedom-crushing gun control bills instead of bills like constitutional carry. So,
What do they say? What are they saying? I said we listen to these commies and let everybody know what they're saying, and then when they say something stupid, we'll chime in. What do you guys
All right.
think?
We can do that.
Georgia needs more gun safety laws, not fewer. No law can stop all dangerous behavior, but why would we want to make criminals feel more comfortable carrying in public, knowing they can now freely carry, no questions asked? Give law enforcement the tools to do their job. Requiring a
Defund
permit to
them.
carry a handgun in public is perfectly consistent with the Second Amendment, and no federal court has held that requiring a permit to carry a loaded concealed handgun in public violates the U.S. Constitution. And it does result in more violence. Since Arizona enacted permitless carry legislation in 2010, the annual rate of aggravated assaults committed with a firearm in the state increased by 8%. Since Alaska enacted a permitless carry bill in 2003, the state has experienced a 65% increase in the annual rate of aggravated assaults with a gun.
Blah 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 blah
I
blah
beg
blah.
you guys today,
Uh-huh.
I know it's an election year. I know this is a priority for y'all, but for those of you who've said
It's a
you
priority for freedom.
Amen.
want to protect law enforcement and families, please have the courage to vote with me today. The mama who's going to fight for her family. Thanks.
Yeah, GGO wants you vulnerable Democrats to vote no on this. Feel free.
Please,
All you
please.
vulnerable Democrats who are up for re-election in a couple of months, feel free to vote no against the biggest pro-gun bill in Georgia history. Please, we're begging you.
Yeah. And GGO Nation, this fight is not over. Even when this passes today, if and when it does, he calls, emails, texts, social media, go after these people, make sure that this gets done, and the commies do not win, and that freedom wins today, this week, and as we head into the end of this session. What is this guy saying?
We will see.
Their firearms permitting systems have experienced a 13 to 15% increase in violent crime rates.
Shut up, James.
But I want to bring this a little bit more home.
I'm sorry, but I just have to point out the obvious here. The idiot is wearing a Ukraine flag on his lapel, which has been like the most obvious debunking of everything gun control in the entire country as we watch all of these. Well, we see it all over the news, right? All of these citizens who are apparently arming themselves and taking to the streets in defense of their homeland. And yet this idiot is standing there and he can't see the obvious hypocrisy that he's got on full display. It just blows it would blow your mind if you thought that these people had common sense, but when they clearly don't have any, well, it is what it is.
Yeah, I got 2 points there, Chris. Number one, yes, agree with you 1,000%. These people, they're desperate to have firearms over there to defend themselves. But number two, this guy's got a freaking Ukrainian flag on. He doesn't have an American flag. I mean, he would take a knee with Colin Kaepernick, but wave the Ukrainian flag.
Right.
I mean, come on. These guys just hate America.
That's exactly right. Let's pipe in here real quick and see what's going on. Is that Heath Clark storming the front there? No.
I can't see him.
Crank it.
There's none. The previous question is ordered. What purpose does the minority caucus whip Representative Wilkerson rise?
To make a motion.
That is Heath.
And lay it over.
I'm not going to recognize you at this time for a motion.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
These
Well, they-
people are doing what we want, guys,
Chair
and that's
recognizes-
all of you.
We have the chairman's time, which by rule is 20 minutes. Chair recognizes the chairman of the committee, Chairman Jay Collins, for the chairman's time.
Oh, this ought to be good, folks.
Here we go.
I didn't get no emails.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm not going to take but just a few moments here today to speak about this bill. I made some comments earlier when we passed our version of this bill in the House.
I don't like Georgia gun owners. They whoop my ass.
Is about protecting your constitutional rights.
Protecting. That's a new word.
And I want to
Like
correct something
texting
I
and
think
protecting.
some of the previous comments that have been made here today. I don't know that anybody in this chamber thinks those two people that murdered Ahmaud Arbery are good guys with a gun. Murderers already.
Hey guys, pound that like button, pound that share button. Let us know where you're watching from. And while this bill passes, join up at joinggo.com and never let up on the heat, guys. Have we heard from Alex yet?
Hey, he's there. He just can't get inside the chamber right now.
Ladies and
Okay.
gentlemen, I would say on Monday that when we adjourn sine die, many of you are traveling on.
Do we want to keep listening to him?
No, we don't have to, because Jay Collins has been proven to be nothing but a tool this entire session. GGO, myself, Alex, our whole team met with him the opening day of session. The opening day of session in his office, and he was nothing but a tool all session long. And the only reason why he moved SB 319 out of committee a couple days ago was because we unleashed the GGO dogs on him via our relentless and notorious texting campaign. And he cried. He cried rivers of tears in committee with rage.
Gross.
How what do you say, Patrick? He doesn't like our logo. Strike first, strike hard, no mercy.
No
And
mercy,
he's like
man.
crying about how much he hates Georgia Gunners members. So no, we're not going to give this guy our airtime. Well said, Chris.
Oh, he's just giving up the well. What's happening
done.
now?
There we go.
Who do we got next? Democrats?
Is somebody going to speak? Who's this running down there? No, it's 20 minutes of chairman's time, I think. Who is this guy? That Powell.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
I
J.A.T.Y.
think that I would need to come up, and since there's been several comments that's been made, I'd like to say just a couple of them.
There he is.
You know, I heard a couple of comments was made, and one was, "Are you kidding me that we're hearing this bill again?" Well, quite frankly, I don't take constitutional rights as a joke or anybody to be kidded with.
Kidded with.
And I heard someone talk about criminals. Well, criminals are going to carry weapons regardless.
He's right about that.
This law is for law-abiding citizens, because the genesis of this bill and what it says is that you can carry, if you're a citizen of Georgia, if you're here in this state, you can carry a weapon if you qualify under the current concealed weapons permit.
You don't have to be a citizen,
Oh, if you're a law-abiding citizen, you can carry a weapon.
not a
And that's
Georgia
what it
citizen.
says. There's nothing that you can do that's going to stop a criminal. But a law-abiding citizen is restricted. Criminals have no restrictions, ladies and gentlemen. And then, just as a matter of clarification, I heard the comments about the Arbery killings down on the coast. That was done.
Everything is so defensive. Why are we so defensive to these people?
Yeah.
Who cares? They're wrong. We're right. Freedom wins. They lose.
Carry a long gun.
If they win, we die. That's just what it is.
Had to have a permit for that.
These people,
So just something. to think
their
about.
tactics and
Get
thought
into the
processes
motion.
are just wrong.
Those who want it.
Hey, Corey Wells, you can leave our platform too, bro.
Oh, Corey Wells, Mr. Tough Guy. Enlighten us.
Yeah. There, I muted him just to tick off Corey. I mean, come on, Corey.
Why don't you
Yeah.
tell us, Corey?
Bye-bye.
Yeah. He's got like a Harley logo there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His girlfriend
Yeah.
wishes he had a Harley.
Yeah.
All right,
Stuart.
folks, as Al Powell, who, as Patrick can tell us, has been an enemy to this bill for so many years in the state capitol, as he rambles on right now, just for some clarity, I know it's been a lot of moving parts on this. We got, again, there's two versions of constitutional carry. One is what you're seeing right now, Senate Bill 319. when this passes, and it will pass the House here later on this afternoon, when this passes the House, it goes back to the Senate for one final vote. And when they pass it over there, that's it. It goes to the governor's desk. So that's where we are right now on this. We have to go back over to the Senate one last time for a vote, but that will not take much time.
Who's
the other
this?
option is 1358. I'll stop here for a moment and see who's talking.
Bonnie Rich.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's a real nasty one.
Nudged me pretty strongly here to the well. First of all, I want to emphasize that this bill has nothing to do with obtaining or purchasing a gun. It has to do
Oh,
with the one that's required
defensive.
permit to
Why don't you
carry.
tell us what it is, hon?
Secondly, I want to emphasize the irony of people coming here to this well, speaking against this bill, that they're the same ones who voted no to Senate Bill 479 yesterday, which pertained to punishing criminals who commit a subsequent crime with a gun.
Good point.
I also want to point out that criminals carry guns right now. We know
She's
that.
right.
Watch the news. I've spoken with my authorities. The killings and the assaults with guns are committed by people who don't have.
Oh man, Tommy Gentry is watching. He's an original OG of Georgia gun owners.
That's right.
Stuart Griffin is in.
Children were
South
4
Georgia in the
and
house.
6 years old.
Very
There
nice.
was a convicted child molester.
Guys, hit that like button, hit that share button. Let us know where you're watching from. St. Simon's is here. Hey, Jennifer.
Sending my child by name gifts and notes and letters in the mail. And he was due to get out of prison. I, of course, wanted a gun. I had never at that time held a gun in my hands or shot one. But I can tell you right now, I was prepared to shoot that man. This mama bear, this is the only thing that gave me any power in this situation.
That's right. Raven,
Atta girl.
Georgia, Covington, Georgia, Kennesaw, Camilla, Perry, Stockbridge, Holly Springs, Loganville. Everybody's here. GGO Nation is here. We swamp all the other pretenders.
Before he got out of prison.
Tens and tens of thousands of members and supporters of Georgia gun owners across the state.
So I stayed home with my children because I was
Who's going to
terrified
fight for you?
to go out
It's not
by
going to be the
myself
GA six-way.
without my equalizer.
Never have, never will.
Folks, just so we're all on the same page here, folks, this is happening because hundreds of thousands of your emails and your phone calls have descended into the Capitol and made them all realize this is an election year and they're going to hang on the political cross in the primaries and the general election if they don't get this done. That is why this is happening, because they've killed it before. They kill it before, but they know right now this is an election year and they're going to burn. They're going to burn if they don't get this done.
She's moving on the rest of her time, it looks like. So we might be going right to a vote.
What purpose does the minority caucus whip Representative Wilkerson rise?
To make a motion.
State your motion.
I move that we table Senate Bill 319.
Representative Wilkerson has moved that Senate Bill 319 be tabled. All those in favor of his motion to table will vote aye. Those opposed to tabling the bill will vote no, and the clerk will unlock the machines.
All right, so this again is just another procedural move that the Democrats are making here to try to block and stall the bill a little bit more. They're trying to make sure that none of their Democrats within the minority caucus are going to flake off on this bill. That's the purpose of calling something like this. So that's what's
tough to
going
catch.
on here.
Yeah,
this vote's going down
there.
hard, though, folks. Don't worry about this vote.
Yep.
A no vote is the right vote here.
If so, the clerk will lock the machine on the gentleman's motion. The ayes are 66. The nays are 101. The motion to table has failed.
Take it.
The previous question has been ordered. Is there any objection to adopting the committee substitute? The chair hears none, and the committee substitute is adopted. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bill? The chair hears none. The report of the committee is agreed to. Shall this bill now pass? All those in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye. Those opposed will vote no, and the clerk will unlock the machine.
Here it is.
Yeah, here it is. So after this passes, Aaron, why don't you lay out the next steps and what everybody has to do? As I'm sure
GGO has already got an email ready to go. We have social media stuff ready to go. It goes back over to the Senate for another vote. We're going to have information in everybody's boxes in GGO Nation, literally in a matter of moments after this vote takes place. The next email that you have to send is to your senator. Tell them to vote yes on Senate Bill 319. We're ready to go, guys. This is the historic, massive day here for GGO Nation.
Parliamentary.
State your inquiry.
Isn't it true that the Constitution already gives us the right to bear arms? And isn't it true that guns don't kill people? People with guns kill people.
What purpose does Representative Rick Williams rise? Parliamentary inquiry.
Isn't it not true if I was any more pro-Second Amendment, my last name would be Winchester?
What purpose does Representative Mary Frances Williams rise?
I want MMO to get up there.
Is it
Mary
not
Margaret
true
Oliver.
that while I was moved to tears by the testimony of my my fellow House member, Representative Chairman Rich, that I wish I had the constitutional right not to constantly be surrounded by guns and be just as afraid.
It's in the Constitution.
Move to Europe, loser.
Okay, we're going to do one more here. What purpose does Representative Holly rise?
Parliamentary inquiry.
State your inquiry.
It's not true, Mr. Speaker, that the main reason we can show our support for the Georgia Sheriff's Association is not by simply putting those nice tags on our car, but probably to pass legislation that puts would-be folks who would ambush them in serious situations, getting those people before a judge, and that if those
What about the
officers
people who
further
ambush us?
happen to lay down their lives in the years going ahead, they can look back to this 2022 legislature that put those persons who harmed them away from a judge, a constitutional officer that could have better given them the permit.
And he also wants to defund the police.
Yeah, and end the cash bail too.
I don't believe that to be true. I just don't remember all of it. I said one more, but now that we are going to do the final one, what purpose does Representative Hagan rise?
Mr. Speaker, isn't it true that when I asked
What purpose are you rising?
parliamentary inquiry?
State your inquiry.
Mr. Speaker, isn't it true that when I asked my sheriff how he felt about concealed carry, that he fully supports the citizens that he represents to be able to defend themselves?
I'm sure that the lady is speaking the truth. Okay. Have all members voted?
Stuart coming in hard.
Voted.
Nice, Stuart.
If so, the clerk will lock the machines. On the passage of Senate Bill 319.
Who flipped their vote?
200. The nays are 67.
Who
This
flipped?
bill, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore passed. What purpose does Chairman Burchett rise?
Make a motion.
State your motion.
Make a motion that we immediately transmit to the governor's office. Or to the Senate. Senate, my apologies.
Senate.
Come on, numbnuts.
Count.
I'm not going to, I can't recognize you for that because the clerk tells me we automatically immediately transmit on the last few days of the session. So we had one more. What purpose does Representative Cannon rise?
To make a motion.
Oh boy. Here she goes.
Checking to see if it's possible to make a motion to move on reconsideration
Are
on the
you
next
certain?
legislative day.
The lady has the right to ask for reconsideration. All those in favor of the motion for reconsideration will vote aye.
They're trying to undo the
Will
vote now,
no,
folks.
and the clerk will
Reconsideration
unlock
vote.
the machines.
This is going to fail.
Yeah.
This is their last desperate. This is their last chance, folks, to try to get some chance to strike this down. This will not succeed. Don't worry about this. We have Georgia after a 12-year battle. Georgia gun owners just passed constitutional carry through the House for what should be the very last time. 167.
Have all members voted?
Voted.
If so, the clerk will lock the machine on the lady's motion for reconsideration. The ayes are 65, the nays are 101, and the motion has failed.
Boom.
That's it, huh? Guys, let us know where you're watching from. If you're just now checking in, constitutional carry has just passed the House, heading over to the Senate. Let us know where you're watching from. Hit that share button. We're going to stay on here, and we're going to chat about the next steps coming up here in just a few minutes. All of this happening not thanks to the politicians, not thanks to the bureaucrats, not thanks to the establishment, but thanks to the members and supporters of Georgia gun owners, period. And don't let anybody tell you any other way. Noonan, Georgia's here. Savannah, Matt, Tony in Statesboro, the great Jerry Schreier, longtime GGO member, has put a lot of money in this fight, guys. Joe in Cumming, Paul in Morganton, Kelly and Byron. Guys, a historic day. The fight's not done. Join up at joinggo.com. The fight never ends. You know what? After we get this done, we're going for SEPA next. Second Amendment Preservation Act. So get your fighting gloves and whatever the heck else you have ready to go. And let's keep up the fight, guys. There's Rich and Fitzgerald, Debbie and Cumming, Anthony and Toccoa, Christopher and Forsyth.
To Senate Bill 361.
All right. I'm going to shut that off then, guys.
That feed
Okay,
is
they
done.
They're done.
That is
we got
done.
Alex Dorr going to be signing in here, guys, in a matter of seconds, live in the Capitol. Again, they won't let the public in the Capitol right now in the House chamber because they're so terrified of COVID-19 protocols. So he could not be inside the actual room, but he's been at the Capitol all day, all week with us, with the GGO team, pushing on the legislature, telling them, you guys don't pass this bill, you're going to pay the big price, a big, big price later on this session. So we're going to see here from Alex momentarily.
Aaron, so everybody can be looking in their email boxes right now, you said, for the next action.
Yeah, the email is being deployed momentarily, folks, from GGO headquarters. It's going to give you an action link if our team get that thing fixed, which we're waiting on right now. And you guys can all contact your senators and tell them to vote yes on Senate Bill 319. We're going to have those action items in your inbox in a matter of seconds.
Very good. Alex, can you hear us?
I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Good.
Yes.
Did you hear some wailing and gnashing of teeth from some of those red shirt radical lying commie mommy brigade? Or
crocodile
are they even in
tears.
There?
They're not even here.
They're not even here.
They're not even here. No, they got their donation check a long time ago to stand up there and say what they said. There's no doubt about it. So no, there's no one here. It's all for show. It's all optics at this point for them. But again, as you guys heard, and I wasn't able to listen to you guys, I was listening here, but the whole thing about criminals getting guns, it has nothing to do with acquisitions. It has everything to do with permits. It's just same old garbage. I think they must have sent over the wrong speaking notes to the representatives on the floor. And, but.
Yeah. So just again, for everybody who's watching right now, a note on the procedure, what's going to happen here. And again, check your email boxes for the next link. This gets there, like they just talked about a second ago, this is going to get transmitted back over to the Senate. Now, unlike previous times where it had to go through the committee process and all this different jazz, that's not the case. That's not necessarily the case here. This time, because this is going to go over there for what's called a concurrence vote. So this literally could happen in the next 15 minutes. You know, saying we're gonna, and we'll bounce right over there onto the Senate side, keep this live stream going all afternoon if we have to, as we gear up for this last and final, what could be the very final vote on constitutional carry.
So right now, the Senate, for you all at the office, the Senate is currently looking at the House Speaker's bill, his mental health bill. It's like they're working in tandem. They're getting their dues.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
As soon as the Senate's done passing the Speaker's bill, then sounds like he's going to give the gun owners what they want. So it's all optics down here,
horse
folks.
trade, quid pro quo.
It's
happening right
going
now.
on between these
But
chambers.
what we hear every day in the Capitol, folks, every day is that, and frankly, it's been this way for quite some time. This is a priority bill. This will happen for one reason, because they were terrified of the members, the Georgia gun owners. And so a lot of horse trading right now on the order of passage, but it's been quite some time now where we had the opinion that this bill was a must pass from the moderates even in Atlanta, because they knew if they do not deal with this, the pain is getting so intense, they could not take it anymore. Stuart Griffin's commenting right now, they want GGO Nation off their back, and that is exactly what has been happening here today.
Yeah, I think it's important to walk through the process here, guys, and we don't have to go through 12 years of this, but 10, 11, 12 years ago, we introduced the first piece of legislation, constantly beating these people over the head. You heard a couple weeks ago, Alan Powell moaning, complaining, oh, we couldn't pass this because we didn't have a governor who wanted to do it. It's a bunch of hogwash.
What about the last 3 years?
Yeah, what about the last 3 years with Brian Kemp? All of this is happening because of the massive, unrelenting artillery barrage that has come from the members and supporters of Georgia gun owners through committee hearings, before session, in the 2018 elections and the 2020 elections, and heading into this election. They don't want to get their butts beat by Georgia gun owners. And we heard it. Radical left-wing socialists. Josh McLaurin is a Democrat. We'll go to Alex here in just a second. On the floor of the House, he read out a haiku poem where he blamed gun owners for this happening. Go back and watch. A haiku's like 17 syllables or something, and he got Georgia gun owners in there. And he knows. He said Georgia gun owners is watching. That is the first ever haiku poem that has been credited with the passage of constitutional carry in the history of the country. So, but it's all, I see everybody, and we'll do another roll call here, guys. Let us know where you're watching from. I'm in Kennesaw. Alex is down at the Capitol. The guys are at the office. Let us know where you're watching from. But this is a team battle. It's not the politicians who are getting this done. It is a team battle. If you're in Valdosta, if you're in Savannah, you're in Toccoa, you're in Chickamauga, you're in Albany, it is everybody coming together and winning. This is what our founding fathers did. This is what the people who came before us did. And this is how we win. Not by kissing political ass, by kicking it in a big team together and doing it and winning. Alex, do you have any more information for us down at the Capitol? Anything from what you said earlier?
So far, there's not been a whole lot of chatter among people. I guess for some reason they don't want to talk to me. They don't want to tell me what's going on. That's fine. We'll let the members decipher it on their own. But I would just point out that Jeff Mullis, as much as he goes around telling everybody that he's not blocking constitutional carry, yes, you were. You blocked HB 1358, which was the cleaner bill at the end of the day. You blocked it so that way Senate Bill 319, the less perfect bill, could come through. So he's a big fat liar. And everyone on the Senate Rules Committee who's been telling me that they're going to move this bill forward, that constitutional carry is going to move out of committee, just give us time, bunch of BS. They had been holding back. They were playing games with our rights. And thankfully, the pressure that we put on them for those games was so bad that they had to move this bill today. It's lovely. I love it. It's beautiful.
Well, and the thing is they didn't just move a version of constitutional carry. And we saw this, Georgians saw this. If you looked across the border into Alabama, we know what terrible constitutional carry looks like. We know what they could have done. And we know what Ralston wanted to do. They wanted to have a residency requirement. They wanted to make it where the cops could detain you if you were constitutionally carrying to see if you were a felon with a gun. We know there's a lot of harmful amendments that they talked about adding. They wanted to add on this.
Yep.
And none of that happened on the House floor today. They passed SB 319 as it was through the chamber over to the Senate because they know the pressure is too intense. And we wish that we had that much pressure, that pressure existed in Montgomery, Alabama. They didn't have that, and they passed a very bad version because the NRA endorsed that crap. And that's what always has happened here. The NRA comes in, they back bad legislation, they work with bad politicians and do all these bad things, but they couldn't do it here because GGO Nation has been fighting this fight for a decade. As you saw from Stuart there, 10 years of fighting for this. And we got a clean version of 319 past the House moments ago.
Head on a swivel, Alex. Do a quick look around behind you and make sure. Do you see the NRA there? Are they there anywhere?
There's nobody. No. No, the
No.
only people that just squirreled by was one of Jeff Mullis's little stooges from The Office. So anyway.
Yeah.
No.
That's
it's
exactly
empty.
what I thought. Not real activists, all those different things that they're very well known for now. So like everything that Patrick was just saying, everybody is 100% on the head. This is only happening today because GGO has waged a 10-year freaking war to get this bill done. 10 or 12 or how many, Patrick?
Well, I mean, we filed Georgia gun owners, me and a few of my pals in 2010, and our first bill was introduced in 2011. 15, 20, 25,000 members later, here we are, right? Easily the biggest Second Amendment organization in the state of Georgia. At the time, there was this organization, very limp-wristed, linguini-spined, called Georgia Carry. When we launched, I mean, they were 2 or 3 times, maybe $200,000-300,000 a year. I can't remember. Now they just like hardly exist. They can't raise money. They can't mobilize gun owners. They can't even get people to join their organization. They're a bunch of old fuds who are outdated and never had the right tactics, and we're just picking off the low-hanging fruit. And now, because their name is so badly stained, okay, it's so badly stained that they changed their name to Georgia's Second Amendment Organization or whatever Jeff Mullis calls them, GA6A.
GA three-way.
Right.
That's what it is.
Their name is so tarnished that they had to change it. But it's mind-numbingly stupid on their part because nobody knows who they are now and nobody knew who they were before. So imagine that. Georgia Gun Owners is the preeminent, only, no compromise Second Amendment organization in the state of Georgia. We stick to the same tactics always. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Never give in. Double, triple, quadruple down. The people who fight for us, we fight for them. Period.
Because nobody likes to kiss ass. No Georgian, no one who cares about freedom, no gun owner wants to be involved with some organizations that come down to the Capitol and just kiss everybody's butts all the time. And that's what we saw when I was testifying on behalf of GGO members in the Judiciary Committee last month. We had all these anti-gun lobbyists laughing at Georgia's six-way saying, you guys have opposed constitutional carry for years.
Exactly.
What are you guys doing? You guys have opposed constitutional carry here in this building for years, and they called them out bad. That's why they've almost vanished, because like the NRA, nobody wants to sit there in 2022 with China bought and paid for, Joe Biden in the White House. No one has time for this crap. We're in the fight of our lives for our freedom, for our state, for our country. GGO has always embraced these aggressive tactics because we know the fight that we're engaged in. And that is why, it's the only reason why we got this bill passed through the House today. A lot of people asking what did happen today. Michelle Powers, we did pass it about 10 minutes ago in the House, the last House vote, Senate Bill 319, going over to the Senate chamber for a concurrence vote. For those who are asking, it may happen today, probably, maybe. We're talking to our people right now in the Senate chamber.
I'm walking over right now to the Senate.
If not, it will be on Friday because tomorrow is a committee day only. and there are no floor actions taking place tomorrow.
Archie Robinson says, this is the number one reason I joined, I left GA2A and joined Georgia Gun Owners. Period.
Fabulous, Archie.
There he is, the great Archie Robinson.
Welcome
I don't know
aboard.
that I know Archie. So where's Alex? He turned off? I'd like to see him walking through the Capitol there.
Chamber right now.
Yeah.
Can we
He's
get
going
him
over there to check.
Okay. I'm here. Oh, I don't see your video. I think.
Yeah, he shut it off for a minute. The problem is inside that building with all that marble and stuff that sometimes it's the reception is kind of spotty.
Am I here?
Can you hear us, Alex?
Yeah, I can. I wanted to get in a position where I could watch the Senate and see what's happening over there. But from what I understand, it was someone's told us that in the last 3 days of session, bills are automatically transmitted for concurrence votes to the other chamber.
Right.
There is no vote to take up to transfer it. So it should be over there waiting for them as soon as they're done with this bill.
Yeah.
So we will just wait and see.
And for context, everybody who's watching this, and I saw the numbers drop down a little bit ago, then they came back up. I think Aaron just did a good recap of it. But what's happened now is it's passed the House floor, and now it has to get bounced back over to the Senate. But this is a concurrence vote. It can happen very quickly. A lot of times it happens within 5 minutes of being transferred over there. And for context, a couple of weeks ago when we passed it in the Ohio General Assembly, and I run Ohio Gun Owners as well, the session or the Senate went on recess for 10 minutes. They waited for the bill to get sent over from the House. They voted it through 15 minutes later, and the whole thing was done in under an hour. So we're at that stage right now. Everybody, again, go and check your email boxes. GGO just sent out an email. It's the one final connection between you. It's the one final legislative action that you can take to make sure that this bill gets all the way through and gets sent to Governor Kemp for signature. So go check your email boxes and get that email fired off. And we got to keep our feet on the gas all the way until the end here.
The amount of tears that are being poured out by the Bloomberg-funded radicals right now, folks in Atlanta. It's one of the best parts of this job. I mean, we watch this happen when we pass this bill in different states. We've watched this happen in the committee action 2 months ago. We watched it happen in committee a month ago. We watched it happen in committee last week. We watched it happen on Monday. And every single time these gun grabbers realize, you know what? They worked in tandem with the moderates for so many years to block this bill, and they all realized this year they were going to lose because GGO was relentless with this. And folks, it's been a phenomenal fight, and everybody in Atlanta knows that they're gonna lose this fight because the members of GGO are relentless. A lot of people are saying we have not received the email. If you normally receive emails from GGO, you better go to your spam or your promotions tab or whatever. If you don't normally receive emails from GGO, go to joinggo.com, joinggo.com, and get involved as a member of GGO today. That is the one way to guarantee that the emails go out to your inbox. And sometimes, we have different types of emails that go to different people, but our members get every email that we put out. So if you have not received your email, then make sure to go to joinggo.com and get involved in this fight. Debbie got 2 emails. Well, Debbie, we're just doing it the Democrat way. You can vote twice. You can send off 2 emails. We don't care. Put your daughter's name on it. Put your husband's name on it.
Hey, they're ringing the bell for a vote on the Senate floor. Give me a second, all right?
It's not us.
Don't worry, Alex. I'm actually monitoring floor action over there in the Senate right now.
Yeah, but it might be a little bit slower than me.
They are.
I'm just saying, when this bill is done, it could be ours up next. But okay, all right, I'll stay
right now
put.
they're voting on House Bill 1013 right now.
Again, everybody.
That's the mental health bill.
That's
the mental health bill.
So,
and for GGO members who've been asking about this, sorry, Alex, I'm going to take a moment here to discuss this bill momentarily. GGO has worked hard behind the scenes for the last week or 10 days on this HB 1013 mental health bill. When the bill passed out of the House originally, it had very concerning language in it that, while it was not red flag gun seizures, we could see where it may lead to a framework down the road, which under let's say Governor Abrams, for example, administration, it could be very bad. And we worked very hard behind the scenes on this, and we're very happy to announce that Senator Brian Strickland, who was a major supporter of this bill on constitutional carry and worked hard for this all session long. Brian ran an amendment on 1013, just I guess it was 2 days ago now.
2 or 3 days.
And all of the crap that we had concerns about in there, the things that may lead to a framework for red flags down the road, have been removed from this bill. And so we're very pleased to acknowledge that and to thank Brian on that fight as well. So that problem has been taken care of. No concern anymore for GGO Nation.
I think it's important for gun owners to remember some of these names you'll hear. When I was leading the organization years ago, the Senate Judiciary Committee, okay? Yeah, we have working relationships with a lot of these guys. In the past, maybe they've done things that we didn't like, and we were happy to tell you about that. But that doesn't mean that we can't work with somebody in the future if they've seen the error of their ways, or if they've heard from GGO Nation and don't want to get smacked again. So somebody like Brian Strickland, we were very tough on a few years ago, but I think fast forward to today, he knows that this is the right policy, and he helped to get it through over on the Senate side, as Aaron just told you. Nobody's irredeemable, guys. I mean, nobody's irredeemable well, maybe some people are, but Mullis.
Elena Parent might be.
Elena Parent. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. I mean, maybe on the Republican side, I have no idea, but
she's a sweetheart. We all know that. She's a sweetheart. Deep down, somewhere within her, there is a sweetness that is dying to be released, and so she could be redeemed as well. But we're still don't worry, everybody. For those of you who are here to watch and see what the Senate action is, we are monitoring that, as you can see in the upper right hand, or I guess it's upper left hand corner for you guys. But we are watching it to make sure that it doesn't sneak by us. And Alex, we might have to cut you loose here in a moment to make
I might have to
go
go chase this down. But I would take a second though and just tell everybody that if you felt like it was like, man, we asked you guys to send a lot of emails, make a lot of phone calls, pat yourselves on the back, because not only are we getting this done, but you just made constitutional carry, a pro-gun bill, the most important bill this legislative session.
Yes.
Okay, it's down to the wire. It is the bartering tool that either side is using. It had to be clean, otherwise there would be hell to pay in the primaries and in the general. But you guys, you all, guys and gals, you made this bill the most important bill for everybody in the building. That is amazing. Well done. I love it. I love it.
Boy, I love hearing that, and that's the absolute God's honest truth. I mean, people, I honestly, I'll tell you, I'll let you in on a little secret, everybody. These politicians don't like it when controversial bills, when what do you call them, social conservative bills like this take front and center. They want to talk about the economy. They want to talk about what pro-freedom stalwarts they are at preventing the state from getting shut down. Wait a minute, what? Yeah, but these people want to talk about anything other than these bills. And the fact that GGO Nation totally clawed our way. Remember that image, that video of President Trump? I forget what year it was, but early on in his presidency, he's at like one of those G7 meetings, and he was like standing behind these other world leaders and stuff, and he just like claws his way to the front and then stands there all barrel-chested, like, you know, I'm the president of the United States, you sons of bitches. Yeah, that's what GGO Nation just did with constitutional carry to the entire Georgia General Assembly. And it's a beautiful thing to watch. I'm so dang glad I get to be a part of it.
Well, it's also so much fun to see this happen. And look, it doesn't have to be this way, but it almost always is this way, and we're okay with this. It's just happy. We're pleased to do our part, and you know that we got the most amount of freedom we could possibly get when the Democrats hate us and half the Republicans hate us. And folks, that's what's going on right now. All the good people in that chamber, in both chambers, they're fantastic, and we're proud to work with those guys. But so many Republicans, the RINO, backstabbing, traitors, and all the Democrats, the ones that were crying on the House floor a little bit ago, the Elena Parents, all these people, no, she's a Democrat, sorry, both parties, the ones that hate us, We love that because when they realize that we're not going to fall for any of their gimmicks, we can't be scared away, we can't be bought off, we can't be chased away, we're relentless. And when we pass this bill with the enemies on both sides of the aisle hating gun owners and hating freedom, we're very, very content with that because that shows the entire chamber there's a new sheriff in this building, and it's the members of GGO. You guys got this done. If we passed a bill, frankly, that everybody agreed with in the Capitol, it'd be an embarrassment. We should be ashamed of ourselves. This was a hard fight, and that's how you can tell we got a good thing done here with this bill.
Yeah, and I want to take another bite on a different subject of this GA2A. I won't tear into them again here, guys. For over a decade, none of the four of us would be sitting here talking about this right now if they had not pounded the floors of the Capitol. A guy named Jerry Henry, John Monroe, James Camp, Andy McClure, James Cramp, and they routinely told legislators, no, do not do constitutional carry. Don't do it. We don't need it. Georgia's not ready for it. We're not going to. Buddy Simpson was another one. No, we don't need it. Don't get it done. Don't do it. This would have been done years ago, and this is worth saying. It is worth looking back, and it is worth retelling the story. This would have been done years ago if not for the obstruction of the NRA and Georgia Carey, who routinely endorsed each and every one of these guys who you've seen over the last number of weeks who are now pushing constitutional carry. It would have passed if these people had not been such jerks and run interference on that. Guys, let us know again where you're watching from. Patrick Parsons here, Aaron Dorr, Chris Dorr, Alex Dorr. We are talking constitutional carry has just passed the Georgia House S-319, heading over to the Senate. Could be today, could be tomorrow or the day after. But Alex is down there letting us know there's still 170 or so of y'all watching right now, guys. Alex, what else do we know? Have we found anything out in the last 30 seconds since we last talked?
No, not in the last 30 seconds. I still hear a bunch of buzzing going off in the Senate chamber, but Chris, you can see it from where you're at.
Yeah, we're on.
I see a lot of people scurrying around, but no, we don't see them doing anything with this bill yet. And so, again, if it's not today, then it will likely be on Friday. Tomorrow will be a committee day. But hey, we're out of committees at this point. And for anyone just coming onto this, I'll say it again. I'll keep recapping this. Jeff Mullis never moved the bill. So for any time that he ever told any of you all that he is not blocking constitutional carry, that's BS. He never moved HB 1358 out of his committee. The House got up and they moved the Senate's bill, and now it's being transferred back over there. Thank goodness it bypasses him and goes straight to the Senate floor for action, because we know he never do a damn thing to help us. But
Alex, I think you make the mistake of assuming that a lot of people were fooled by Mullis. Now, anybody who watched his floor speeches and his little charades, everybody could tell, like they could just see the character of the man and the lack of it. Everybody could just tell he was not a trustworthy individual. That's Jeff Mullis. And quite frankly, folks, we've known that about Jeff Mullis, and especially Patrick and Alex and Aaron, who've been bullheading this entire program this year. But we've known this about Jeff Mullis because we know that about his character in all the states that have passed constitutional carry. There's always a Jeff Mullis lurking behind the scenes. And if you see him there, Alex, why don't you flip the camera to him so I can tell him?
You want to see him?
Face.
I know right where he's at.
Well,
I want him to put him on camera.
I want him to be able to hear me. I want him to be able to hear me.
No. Last I checked, he was sitting behind the lieutenant governor.
He's on the floor. I'm seeing him right now.
Yeah.
He's on the floor. But Chris's point is spot on. There's a Jeff Mullis in every state. There's usually 3 or 4 Jeff Mullises in every state. But what's interesting, what you should note, though, I think, for GGO Nation is that if you've watched Jeff Mullis over the last couple of days, you've seen him do this whole, I don't give a crap no more about nothing. Screw you. He's almost like borderline sexually harassing people in committee. He's totally unhinged. And people are kind of like looking at him like, are you okay? And he's like, you know what? I just don't give a shit. And he said, you know what? I never gave a shit. That's what he's saying in committee 2 days ago.
Yep.
And here's the lesson, I think, though, for everybody else, for us all to remember. Most of them think that way. Almost all of them think that way. Jeff Mullis is the one who will say it right now because he's half lit and he's going to be out of office in about 48 more hours. But don't ever think these people actually like you. They don't like us. They don't like our freedom. They don't like our gun rights. They're only doing this right now today because GGO Nation has put a political gun to the side of their head and said, you had better pass the bill. So Mullis is the face of this, but there's probably, 24 other Republicans' names we could name off in the Senate chamber alone right now who have the exact same hatred for gun owners and your freedom.
Greg
Beautiful.
nailed it. Look at that. Mullis equals the boss hog of Dukes of Hazzard. Except I think that does a real that's like an attack on boss hog. Like I feel a kindred spirit to that guy in some way, especially when he's chomping that cigar and talking that dog of his and riding around that big old caddy with those horns on the front. Yeah, that's not Jeff Mullis. He's got all of the boss hog corruption. None of the style, none of the flair points that Boss Hog had. And, you know, he definitely doesn't have a Daisy Duke in his life. I can tell you that right now.
Well, I don't know. Who knows? Down at the Capitol.
Maybe he's got a Duke in his life, but
his name is Spencer. Well, never mind.
Yeah, his name is probably
Andy
Doolittle
McClure.
Do Nothing or something like that. Dumbass Doolittle Duke or something. I don't know. Don't
Doolittle is another one.
Don't put down the boss hog like that. Look, hey, folks, there's an OGO member, Martin Alger from Ohio Gun Owners, one of our best members from Ohio, checking in. Says, hope we get it done. You get it done down in Georgia. You know, we were just very happy to be number 23 on this list of states that got constitutional carry because we wanted to be in that top 25 so that we weren't in the backfield with Ohio.
Yeah.
So what does 25 make you? Does that make you just like total middle of the road, or, I mean, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Heck no, GGO, Georgia Gun Owners, we're gonna be the ones that push this baby over the halfway line.
Hey.
GGO Nation is on the top of this mountain right now, and we're about 5 more steps, and we're gonna put the ball of two-way freedom on top of the mountain, and every other Republican in America who is not in a constitutional carry state is going to realize that this ball of freedom is rolling down the mountain. It's going to envelop them. American Firearms Association to keep that happening. That's why you saw DeSantis. Look, we all love DeSantis. We all love DeSantis. But even DeSantis has to call for a special session to try to get constitutional carry done. He announced that yesterday because when Brian Kemp signs his bill into law, the walls are closing in. You got Alabama, you got Georgia. This is what happens when over half of America has this bill. So, Ohio, you beat us by 2 states. But when this thing crests the mountain, it's on, baby, all over America.
Well,
just imagine this. If we get Georgia, which we're going to get, we better get, and then Florida, if Florida happens, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana doesn't have it, right?
Correct.
Texas has it. Oklahoma has it. North Dakota, South Dakota,
Hey guys,
Wyoming.
This team is probably going to have to roll over to South Carolina and get shit done over there. Am I right? I mean,
Make it happen over there.
Nobody else is going to do it.
I mean, you're right, Chris. I mean, what Georgia Gun Owners is doing right now, what you guys are doing, planting this flag for freedom on the eastern seaboard. Yeah, you got some New Hampshires and Vermonts, but no one lives up there and no one knows anybody up there. And those are weird states. But when you plant this flag for freedom in freaking 10.5 million population Georgia, the entire Southeast now is going to have pressure on it. We're already seeing that in Tallahassee with DeSantis. As you said, Chris, we're going to see that pressure mount now in South Carolina, in North Carolina. Can't quite do that right now, perhaps, but maybe we can in Virginia. The governor would sign it. We have a Democrat-controlled Senate by 1 vote right now in the state Senate in Virginia. But this is a monumental achievement. That entire eastern seaboard on the southeast is being opened up for freedom right now.
But
it's going to be freaking huge
you know,
when this happens.
You're exactly right. The freedom is stretching all over the place. But now let's bring it back in for a second. Stacey Abrams is sitting in one of her, restaurants that she surely frequents, and she's hearing that, whoa. Georgia's not getting more liberal. Georgia's not getting more like stripping people of their rights to bear arms.
So.
What's happening now for her is she's like, holy crap, the whole state is in favor of constitutional carry. This is not the tide that I thought I was going to be beached with, but rather,
Alex, you're killing me.
Sorry, but this is the wrong way. And every one of her hopes and dreams is now being drugged back out into the ocean. So this is lovely because we are planting a flag of freedom here that surely she is taking into account and realizing that this is not going to be easy for her come November.
Yeah, I mean, Kemp's team's got to get their butt in gear. He just, he seems like he's done a lot of good things during this session and he needs to get this done. But I mean, this should be a big damn deal. And if he loses to Stacey, man, that's a big problem. But
I was just thinking, so how many Republican governors are there left now that do not have constitutional carry? Now you have one or two that have, legislatures that are beyond their control. I'd say a little bit, like Massachusetts, right? Isn't that a Republican governor? And
Virginia, South Carolina,
Maryland,
yep.
Isn't
Maryland?
Hogan, he's a Republican. Democrat legislature, Democrat control. I mean, especially with South Carolina and Florida, they've the pressure is definitely on. But back to Georgia, Aaron, you were just saying that Georgia is like getting it past the 50-yard line. It made me sit here and think about, I'm maybe I should be more of a Falcon fan in terms of this conversation here. But literally, if we're going to be the best, and GGO is the best, it's like GGO and us guys right here. We're like, we're like the Tom Brady of this thing, and everybody running downfield. This is like Gronkowski. Together, this has been a completely dominating team that just could not be beat by the defense. And we're talking about Georgia carry 3-way, 6-way, whatever sick way you want to think about it, and the Democrats, and that's what's driving this forward here to the goal line. So,
although we might have lost half of GGO Nation with that Tom Brady comment. So don't forget he's from Ohio. He's from Ohio. We don't have to. We don't fully embrace or endorse every comment. Yada yada yada. So don't worry about that. But Rich Heon is saying "Go Bucks." Great reference. Hey, there you go. All right.
See?
There's no loyalty to the Falcons.
No, there is some weird. There's a couple weird states on that constitutional carry map, and we've got some graphics that I'd love to show folks, but we can't show it until Governor Kemp signs this. But Nebraska, an odd deal.
Weird.
Red state, red governor, but they don't have it right now. Yeah, you mentioned Maryland. That's always a weird deal. But Maryland doesn't functionally have a Republican governor. Everyone here knows that. I mean, Hogan is a radical leftist who happens to wrap himself in a Republican label. But 28 Republican states. And after Georgia gets this done, we're going to have 25 of them that have constitutional carry on the books. And so, you got you add in Florida in that mix, you add in Nebraska, that becomes 26, 27. I mean, there's only a handful of Republican states. Yeah, Martin Alger, yes, definitely Florida with DeSantis. So we're definitely close, definitely very close on this. What's kind of cool, you talk about looking back at the old days, Patrick, and when you first founded Georgia Gun Owners, and I was just getting my start with Iowa gun owners, Chris and I together, at that time, and we were talking way back then, the three of us way back then, back in 2009, 2010, and we had two states. We had Vermont, which had never passed the bill. They never had banned or denied gun owners that right to carry. And you had Alaska, kind of a different version, you might say, not near as good as what we're having here, but two states. And I remember the first time that I walked in the Iowa Capitol and said, we're here to, by God, get constitutional carry passed in a law. And everybody laughed. I know you called me when you left the Capitol in Atlanta, your first time in the building, saying, man, I told them we're going to pass constitutional carry, and they just all think that we're crazy. We're crazy. And, you know, I think that the biggest compliment and credit to you, to the members of Georgia gun owners, to the members of Iowa gun owners from my fight back in the Midwest, all these state groups, Ohio, which got done a couple of weeks ago, you know, all these different states, the biggest compliment, I think, goes to that. It's just that tenacity. It's that staying power. We never left. We never quit. We never relented. It took time, no question about it. Would have loved to have this done in 1 year instead of 1 decade.
Yeah, no
But
kidding.
at the end of the day, tons of careers were ruined by idiots in these state capitals who just didn't want to play ball, and we're okay with that. We were okay with that.
And I think you make an interesting point, Aaron. Not only for Georgia gun owners, but the American Firearms Association, a lot of groups around the country. It's that staying power. It's the stick-to-itiveness. There's a lot of people in politics, and yes, we're in politics, guys. They come and go. They're flakes. They can't make it. They just can't do it, right? They can't figure out how to do it. It's not their fault necessarily. Maybe they got bad advice, whatever. But we're confident in our training. We're confident in our tactics. We're confident in training you, the members and supporters of Georgia gun owners, in those tactics, in those various things that we do to win. And we have nothing but thanks for the members and supporters of Georgia gun owners for your time, your treasure, your talent, your intensity. It would not happen without you. We are simply your messenger, and we would love to, the training that we have, we would love to impart it on you as well, and you make a difference where you live. But this battle was a big one. Georgia, I mean, yeah, the election was very much rigged in 2020. But, I mean, Joe Biden won Georgia, guys. I mean, to be able to do, and you can get on me all you want about that. That's, at the end of the day, that's what happened. Unfortunately, this is a big testament to the members and supporters of Georgia gun owners, heat, pressure, and sticking with the plan and winning overtime here, guys. So that was my little rant, and much thanks to the members and supporters of Georgia gun owners. Any more intel down there, Alex or Aaron or anyone else? I know we were texting with numerous members right now.
Yeah, I'm hearing from multiple senators that they're not given a clear indication right now from Duncan or their majority whip on the schedule for this vote. So we're not 100%. No one seems to be 100% sure when it's going to actually happen. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. We will be doing that for everybody. For everybody who's asking one last time on what happened again, just for a quick update, we passed the House 100 to 67. Is that correct, Chris, Patrick, Alex? I think it was 100 to 67. Yeah. Passed the House. This is Senate Bill 319. We are okay with this language. People are asking questions. So here's the deal. This bill guarantees constitutional carry freedoms to anybody who can meet the criteria for a current Georgia weapons license, number one. Anybody who could do it from another state, except for the residency status, number two. And anybody else who has a permit from any other state. So it covers basically the entire gun universe. Would be able to utilize constitutional carry. That's what the bill does. It is just some nuances on 1358, but we are very okay with this final outcome as it is right now on Senate Bill 319. The bill has now been sent to the Senate. They have to have a final vote in the Senate before it can go to Governor Kemp's desk. That's kind of where we are in the process. And a lot of questions asking us about Brian Kemp. Look, we're going to have alerts on social media, by text, by email, in your inbox in seconds. I'll give you a little peek behind the curtain. We already wrote him. We already wrote him. We know we're going to be victorious in this fight. And so you're going to have more information from us on that. One more question I wanted to address. A lot of people are asking us, you know, what's next? What's next? That's a great question to ask, because the truth is that as other states did this years ago, they have moved on and they have left Georgia, frankly, left us behind, you know, because they're passing other bills now. And so have no fear. There is a full slate of freedom that we're going to be working on when it comes to next session when this bill is done. Parker Moon, you stole my line. Dang you. Do you have something, Alex?
Hold up, boys. Yes, the Senate just adjourned. And
for the day?
Everyone Everyone's leaving the building and they're
Adjourn.
saying, see you all on Friday.
All right, then that's it
So,
then for
yes.
today. All right.
It,
That's great, Alex.
Constitutional care will be on the floor on the Senate on Friday.
Well, it does mean Alex is correct because they're still the video. They're still live. So Alex is right. He's ahead of us by at least 45 seconds.
Yeah.
That's what it
They're
takes.
still
Being
sitting in
down
their
here,
chairs in
that's
the
what it
live
takes.
stream.
Props to you. But,
you
you know,
gotta
Ray
have
is
your-
saying this. Parker
Sapa.
is saying this. You know, SAPA is going to be the fight of our lives. GGO Nation is going to be leading this fight. Our affiliates in Missouri passed this very bill in a fight that I was personally involved with a year ago. American Firearms would be pushing this fight too. So SAPA is going to be a major fight. We're going to lead that fight. We also have to do a lot of work to upgrade our self-defense laws. We're going to discuss all of this later on. But everybody, including the RINOs, want to weaken stand your ground law right now in light of the recent events here in Georgia, but we're going to go the opposite direction. We're going to strengthen it. We're going to make it better, more fair, and more intensive, more rigorous for every gun owner in the state. But yes, SAPA is objective number one once Brian Kemp signs this into law. Much more on that in the days ahead. I think we're ready to wrap this for the moment, guys, unless anybody here disagrees. We know the vote is going to be delayed until Friday at least because they have just adjourned the Senate today. Mullis is talking right now. He's going to be feeding people. No kidding. Patrick, anything else?
Oh, yeah, he's having tacos
from Alex
tomorrow.
or from Chris?
Yeah, where's the food?
Yeah, what do they feed? It's they're very used to doling out like massive big treats in the form of tax pork. So yeah, what do they have?
Last question. Speaking of pork, Chris and Mullis, we are not going to be engaging in any questions, answering questions. People are asking us on the down low about any potential improprieties or other investigations on Senator Mullis. We cannot confirm any of that. We're not going to be engaging in that conversation today because we don't have any concrete information on that fight. So we're going to have to address
We can't confirm it or deny it.
That's exactly right.
I won't confirm, I won't deny.
Yep. All right, guys. That's it for now.
Well done, everybody. Well done.
Yeah. Give yourselves, reach around behind. We're almost there. Give yourselves another big old pat on the back. Pop a cold one tonight. Look forward to Friday, maybe Monday. We'll be back here then. Until then, stay free, and we'll be back later.